Welcome to Crazy Gamer Models. I am the Crazy Gamer, and I do models. It is the holiday shopping season, and do I have some gifts for you for the Scale Modeler. And folks, as always, the links on social media, and we're going to talk about Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, whatever you celebrate this happy time of year. We're going to talk about gifts for the Scale Modeler. You have a scale model in your family, you don't know what to get them, we're going to talk about that. Gifts small, gifts large, gifts extreme, gifts they'll be like, OMG, what? So we're going to talk about that. But there's the links. And, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to throw my Patreon page up there. If you could support the channel, that would be great. Thank you. Back to the links. If you have any questions about these gifts, or you have a scale modeler and you don't know what to get them, you don't like anything I showed on here, you want something a little bit more personalized about what they kind of models they build, hit me up an email, crazygamermodels@gmail.com, and I'll see if I can help you. I'll be that gift giving guide. If I can help, I will try to do that. All right. Let us get started here. We're going to just go to the overhead camera. It's going to be mostly this camera for this video here. Now, I want to start big, and I'm going to start ships, because we're working on ships lately. We got the North Carolina going, and we just had Bismarck week, and then we're going to have some weeks of some other ships, and then we're working on the Turpits from a kit we got at an outlet store. And that's another thing. You go to an outlet store, you see a model kit, you got a model builder in the family, if it's worth the money, it's $13 for a $40 kit, buy that kit. It's something fun. You glue and sand and plastic, it doesn't have to be a precision model. And if you have if the modeler is a little bit of perfectionist, a little bit nitpicky, maybe not go with a model like that, but there's better models out there. You can do your research. I have a lot of reviews on my channel, and there's a lot of other channels out there that do great reviews that can give you an idea of what the kit's like, and if the kit's worth getting on an expertise level and things like that. But let's talk about ships and information. So, as you may have seen, you guys seen my Battleship Bismarck Week series, where I talked about reference material for ships in general and for the Bismarck. Reference material for ships. This is anatomy of a ship. He makes this Stephen Dromowski. He makes multiple different books in this anatomy of a ship series. And if you have someone building scale model ships and he makes one of these type of books for that ship, this is the ultimate reference material. Talks about the history, the weapons, the armor. It has scale drawings of everything in it. They're building a ship. They wanna custom make some of the parts. They wanna, I don't like the mast in the kit, so I want to custom build my own mast. Well, everything's gonna be in this book that you need to do something like that, and that is this Anatomy of a Ship by Stephen. And also, he makes another set of books. You haven't seen this book yet. This is on the Yamato. It'll come out in Yamato week. But this is also a book on reference material for ships. This is Super Drawings in 3D. They have many, many books. Here's a list of their books that they make for all the different ships. But it is detailed drawings, all in 3 dimensions, and showing you where all the references are. Where are you going to put your catapults, your railing, your lifeboats, all that stuff. There's another recommendation on this right here. I recommend this. Another book, which I don't have an example of right here, is a book called Shipcraft. Shipcraft. Wow. Say that 5 times fast. So they make, they have 14 books in the series now. They make Yamato ones book, Essex class, Yorktown class. It has a bunch of different books, and it's basically a set of books on scale modeling. Modeling the ships of the class of the shipcraft book you purchase. I don't have one of those to show you. I do have some on order. Actually, they're pre-order. I should be getting them soon for some upcoming ships. But say you don't want to get reference material. Say you want to wow someone, and you want to get them something, and you want to get them a 1/350 ship, a 1/200 ship, 1/700 ship, but not just the ship. You want to get them something to make that ship pop with some upgraded detail kits. Well, there's a lot of different ways you can do that, and we're going to look at one of my ships, and then we're going to look at two different types of upgrade kits. They're not both for the ship, but in general you can get them depending on the ship. So this is the 1/350th Bismarck, and I'll go ahead and pop the side view so you can see how large this box is. This is the German ship Bismarck. It's by Tamiya. This happens to be kit number 78013. So this is a nice little kit. I did a Sprue review of this. It's on the channel, but that's not important. You get a ship in any ship you want, any organization, country, time. They have ships all different. There's Trumpeter. There's Hobby Boss. There's Tamiya. There's all kinds of companies that make ships. But one of the upgrade kits you can get that are, in my opinion, fantastic. And I'm going to talk about two upgrade kits, and I'm also going to talk about two that I don't have pictures of that are also very good in my opinion. I have one of the kits I have for an aircraft, and I have actually seen the ship kits, and they are fantastic. So this is a Phonos kit for 1/350 ship, the Bismarck in 1941, and it comes with a stained wooden deck, a bunch of turned brass barrels and things like that. It comes with 5 photo etch sheets, a bunch of resin parts, and some dry transfers and things like that. So this would be your premium update. I want all the bells and whistles on my ship. I'm gonna get this kit. These aren't cheap. This is a high-end. These are high-end kits. You can find them on websites like Sprue Brother Models and things like that. But if you just want, a simple upgrade kit for, $40 or $50, you can get a Edard kit. This one happens to be for my New Jersey, the 1982 version of the New Jersey, and it's basically just the photo etch. I believe it's 4 or 5 photo etch. It has the railing and things like this. I haven't done a review on this yet. I will in the future, but I have many of these photo etch kits. I have one for the North Carolina. I have one for the New Jersey. I also have them for tanks and armor, and we'll get into that when we look at tanks and armor and things. But these are nice little kits. You can find these on Amazon, Sprue Brother Models, your other metal, Hobby World USA. Guys, Hobby World USA is a fantastic place to buy stuff, pay any kind of. They have tons of hobby stuff. It's one of my go-to places, and I also spend a lot of time at Sprue Brother Models. Between the two of those, they're my two favorite places. One of those two places has what I need, and then if they don't have it, I really don't need it. That's my theory anyways. So they have some great kits. I just recently got in Alaska for Sprue Brother Models, and it's on its way, and I'm looking forward to that. Now they don't sponsor me. They're not. I don't get paid by them or anything. I just happen to enjoy their services. They're very, very helpful, and the people at Hobby World USA are great. They're some of the best people. They're just friendly and helpful. You have an issue, they help you right away. They get back to you right away. It's just great. Now, if you're still getting your ship and you just want, I get them the ship and just want to get them one little upgrade, well, you can get them the aircraft for the ship. So this is an Aldero AR-196. You get 6 of these little float planes. This is for the Bismarck. I have them for different planes and whatnot, so that you can get just a plane upgrade. So they build 6 little planes, build up a Bismarck, and then they have a nice little display thing, painted up, all that good stuff. So that's basically I'm going to cover that in my naval category, because there's so many ships I could show you and so many kits I could show you, and it all depends on what type of what kind of countries they like, what kind of ships they like. There's so many ships, and ships I feel are personal. It's not like a tank or an aircraft where there's hundreds made, thousands made of the same type of aircraft. When it comes to ships, there's only one North Carolina, there's only one Bismarck, there's only one HMS Hood, there's only one Yamada. Yes, they made a Musashi, but they were different. They were their own ships. So I feel ships are kind of personal. So kind of feel them out, see what kind of ships they're into, and then you can get something like that. Oh, another upgrade I just realized I forgot for the ships is from Alliance Model Works. You can buy the guns with brass barrels with all the different ships for United States, Japanese. Available on Amazon, Sprue Brother Models, Hobby World USA, all your modeling websites, and these are nice little resin upgrades with brass barrels. You can get your anti-aircraft weapons like that in brass. There's tons of upgrades you can get, and you can spend from very little to huge amounts of money on these ships, and it could break the bank wise. You get a 1/200 ship, 1/200 scale, like a Hornet, and you get one of these Mark I design upgrade kits, which is one I'm going to talk about. Mark I design, they're out of Korea. They make great upgrade kits. They use a lot of white metal. Some people don't like white metal, but they also use a lot of brass and a lot of upgrades. They're decent kits. I have one of their upgrade kits for an aircraft. It's fantastic. I never had no problems with it. So that's another option. And Tom's Model Works is another option. They make photo etch for ships and whatnot, and they do a great job. They make great photo etch. I think their thickness of their photo etch is very to scale and very nice. So we covered ships, and person in my life that does scale models, they don't like ships. They're not a ship person. Well, what do you get? Well, do they like aircraft? Well, let's look at an aircraft. And we're gonna look at one of my ships, one of my aircraft that I happen to have bells and whistles for. Now, this is a German BF-110E, and this is an Eddard Profi pack. I like these Eddard Profi packs. This is 1/48 scale. Find out what scale they're into. If you have an aircraft modeler, a lot of aircraft modelers are into a certain scale. Do they do 32nd scale? Do they do 72nd, 1/48? And there's even some good 1/24 scale models out there. So find out what scale they're in, and then you can go and get a aircraft like that. Do your research on the kit, because some kits you want something with new tooling. Not all old tooling kits are bad, but some kits are have some issues. But like most model kits, there are upgrade abilities for kits, and this is an Eddard kit. It's a Profi pack. This comes with some photo etch and a nice book with some information, and I like these Eddard kits. I have quite a few at 48 scale, and they also make. It's not in here. Okay. Well, one of the things is in here. So you can get from Eddard, you can get upgrade kits for aircrafts. Cockpit details, flap details, and different things like that. So you can get that. You can get masks. You can get all kinds of information for aircraft and upgrades and stuff. And what I really want to show you is the resin upgrades available for these aircraft. And it doesn't have to be an Eddard kit, but you can get resin upgrades from Eddard brass. I think I can grab this without too much issues. I thought it was in that box, but it wasn't. Now, this is something like you can get. This is one of their engines. This is a engine, is a DB Daimler-Benz 106AN engine, and this is what would go in the BF-110 to 1/48 scale. But you can get these high-end resin parts from Eddard Brassin, with all these resin upgrades, and you can really deck out your aircraft. And They make kits like Big Sin kits that have all kinds of upgrades. They make Big Ed kits that basically is just all the photo etch for the model. The Big Sin basically is like a good chance to get everything. They have advanced sets and detail up and things like that, but I believe the advanced sets is like everything that they make for that particular model. And again, you can get it for non-Edard models. It doesn't have to be an Edard kit to get upgrade kits for. I have some special hobby models that I enjoy. Airfix makes some 1/24 scale models that are nice that I like. I like to stick to 1/48. I do have one 1/24 Airfix kit that I'm going to be working on in the future. But you know, there's things you can get for aircraft too that you can go above and beyond. You can get paint mask for it. The name escapes me for the company that make paint masks, or you can paint all the markings onto the aircraft, which you use a nice lacquer paint like MRP. That's a fantastic way to do that, and I'll get into paint and stuff shortly. So, alright. I hope that didn't mess up. So, okay, and I realized I wasn't on the overhead. I'm sorry about that. Here's that resin kit again. Alright, so let us take another look here about what we have. So we covered aircraft. Now let's cover a tank. So this is a TACOM kit. It is a Panther off D. It's got a lot of stuff in it. It's got a full interior. You can go with a full interior. You can go with a well-built Tamiya kit that goes together with no issues and no problems like that. You can go with something like that. That's always a fantastic option. There's trumpeter. There's all different kinds of tank kits, and like aircraft and other things, you can get upgrade kits. This is an upgrade kit for a Panther tank. This has got an interior upgrade, some exterior upgrades, and some Zimmerit for it. So you can get upgrades again from Edard. I tend to use a lot of Edard upgrades. I am planning on using some master upgrades and things like that in the future, but I don't have any of those to demonstrate now. And now tanks, they come in your different ranges: 172nd, 135th, and then they have your 116. So 116 is a pretty big kit. They're a little pricey. Trumpeter makes some great 116 kits. They're a little old, but you know, if you put some love into them, they come out really well. I'm a big fan of TACOM and Ryfield models. They have their own issues, but they're great. If you have someone that just likes to put a model together and paint it, I think Tamiya makes great models. Especially their armor is very nice for, you know, getting it together very well, very easily, and then you can just get to painting it. But if you like the detail and the complexity of spending, you know, hours putting something together and with a lot of detail and things like that, I think you can't beat like a TACOM interior kit or a Ryfield model with a interior. I mean, the detail and the, you know, you're looking at 2,500 pieces on some of these kits, and you're looking at months of work. And if you paint it, you're looking even longer, a year project. So it's a big project, and they make great gifts. So I covered that. Now let's cover what you need to put models together and what I think that people would like. And again, reference material for all these, all kinds of models are available out there. It's always good. I buy a model kit that I first time getting that type. I try to get some reference material out there, like a book or something, to learn about the model kit. You know, not just to put on the channel, but just so I know, you know, I can get into what this model is about, and it gives me a connection to the model, and it enhances the building experience by adding a learning capability to it, and it's fantastic. So let's talk quickly about some common modeling supplies that the modeler like. If you want some stocking stuffers for the modeler in your family and you don't know what to get, you can go to your local hobby store. I'm pretty sure they're going to sell some Tamiya extra thin glue. We'll zoom in for these little ones here. So I'm sure they're going to sell some Tamiya extra thin glue. You know, that makes a great stocking stuffer. Speaking of wise, I believe you have to be 18 or older to buy that. They also make a quick set. I think that's a fantastic glue. There are sanding sticks. There are brands upon brands of sanding sticks. I'm not going to recommend a sanding stick brand to you. Find out, you know, look through their modeling bench, see what they like, see what modeling sticks are used the most, and you know, pick them up some new ones of those. You know, people like new stuff of stuff they've already liked. So another thing is you got sanding sponge. You know, there's tons of different brands. This is God Hand brand. There's Tamiya brand. There's tons of brands of sanding implements out there. And in my theory, you can never have too many sanding things. You can get these thin sticks for getting into tight corners. You can get bendable ones. You can get flat ones. You know, you can go to the local beauty supply store and get these rigid flat ones. They're nice for putting flat edges on it, things like that, all that good stuff. Well, you know, you're going to need a way to cut the stuff off of the sprues. So I recommend Tamiya cutters. They have a 1, 2, 3, and then they have some sharp point cutters. And I also, if you do larger scale modeling with larger scale sprues, or you find yourself cutting a lot of sprues, I recommend the Xuron Professionals. No sponsorships here. It's just personal preference on what I've used in the past. On those, tweezers are a great gift. You know, I've strived to find the best tweezers. I'm not going to recommend a tweezer brand because I still haven't found that best brand yet. But I use the Tamiya Craft Tool tweezers. I think they're great. I use a curve set and I use a straight set, and you know, I'm not going to recommend them because, you know, people have their preference of tweezers. Find out what kind of tweezers they like. You know, things like that. And you got, you know, your little higher grade tools. Like I just recently got this battery powered Dremel with a keyless chuck in it for drilling some holes, small holes. You know, I can slow it down, and I can drill some real tiny holes in some resin and things like that. And it's battery powered. You can hold it in your hand real nice and work with it without, you know, having any issues. And then there's higher end things like, you know, jeweler polishing tools with variable controlled speed foot pedals. There's reviews of those on my channel. You can get, you know, I can't recommend enough a file. I was recommended a file by another YouTuber, Will. He's in the scale modeling critique group, and it's changed the way I model. A good file, a good sharp bastard file is the way to go. I mean, it's changed my modeling. It is fantastic. So now let's move on to paints. There's tons of different paints. If you're a brush painter, or the person you're buying stuff for is a brush painter, I prefer Vallejo Model Color. I think they're great. I've also been able to brush this Mission Model acrylic airbrush paint. This makes it works pretty well. It also makes a great paint for airbrushing. That is a great airbrushing paint. For priming, I use Vallejo Surfacer 1500. Gray is what, or black, whatever you want to use. For gap filling, I'll use the Mr. Surfacer 500. You know, different things like that. And then I have some other brands of paint here. Grab them out of the drawer. I can find the drawer they're in. Look at that. So you can get something like these AK Real Colors. They come in paint sets. This is for German Army. The dark yellows for German Army. I also have the German Army interior colors, you know, for the interior of my tanks because I do full interiors. There's that, and then this is a new brand that I'm trying out. It is Hatake Hobby. They got it's a paint. I'm trying it out. I heard it was good brushable. I haven't tried it yet. And then there's also, if you like your enamel paints, like enamel paint, this is Mission Model, our Model Master paints. This is by Tester, and they make a great. This is a great set. This is historical military colors. You know, nice set of enamel paints if you like enamel paints and things like that. So that is that. Different paints there, and there's also MRP. If you or your loved one into scale modeling and you spray paint through an airbrush and you haven't tried MRP lacquer paint, you don't know what you're missing. It's one of the best. It's one of the best paint. It leaves one of the best surfaces, and it is fantastic. It's easy to use. It's easy to clean your airbrush afterwards. It's a great paint. Hobby World USA is the best place to get that. I don't know of any other place to get it. They sell it. They always have it. They're fantastic. Again, they're not a sponsor, but it's a great paint, and I would recommend if you have the ability to airbrush paint, then I would recommend Hobby World USA to get your MRP paint. So I don't really think you're going to get it anywhere else. So, but they also have a lot of other great items like sanding implements and all kinds of great things for stocking stuffers and things like that. So I'm going to wrap this video up. I covered some basic tools, glues, kits, talked about kits, find out what kind of kits they like, like World War II, like German, Russian, American, like naval, Japanese, you can get some French ships, some British ships, German ships, Russian ships. They like the modern stuff. There's modern kits out there. There's even kits like the New Jersey. It's a modern, 1982 upgrades. It's got the missiles on it on a battleship. That's crazy. So World War II battleship with missiles and all that other capability. I'm going to again put the links up on the screen. If you have any questions or you're looking for some gift ideas for someone in the scale modeling field that likes to do their scale models, send me an email, crazygamermodels@gmail.com. The links are in the description. You can visit my Instagram, my Facebook group, or tweet me, and you can have, I'll give you any information that I can provide. Also, the links are in the description. And I just want to mention my Patreon page. Due to the issues with YouTube and all the new policies out there, I will never ever run ads on my channel, no matter what. My channel's not big enough for ads right now, but I will turn off ads. I will not pick ads. I will not run ads ever on my channel. So the only way that I could grow my channel is through people who would support me on Patreon, whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly donation. And once I start getting some regular people donating, I'm going to be doing giveaways and patron-only content to reward those who support me. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much, and you guys have a fantastic day, and you guys have a happy Thanksgiving.